Today we're going to talk about significant figures, rounding, and percentage error. It is so important for you to go back and make sure that you review this because these are the easiest points you can get on the exam. But if you're doing this incorrectly in your graphing calculator, then you're not going to get the points. The first thing is make sure that you go to mode in your calculator and you are working in degree mode. It is very important. The other thing that you should have on your calculator is your stat diagnostics on. It is mostly for correlation problems, but for now, just make sure that you do those two things after you reset your calculator. Degree mode and stat diagnostic on. I'm going to enter this exactly the way I see it. So I'm going to go to alpha y equals to turn this into a fraction. That's the way I do it in my calculator. I'm going to enter parentheses, tangent. It opens the parentheses of 2 times z. Z in this case is 30 degrees, so 2 times 30. Or I could have just put 60 because I know how to multiply that. Plus 1, close parentheses, times, open parentheses, 2 times the cosine of z, which is 30, close parentheses, minus 1. Again, close parentheses, all over y squared, which is 41 squared, minus x squared, which is 9 squared. And that's going to give me an answer of 1 over 800. Part A says to calculate the exact value. You can give the exact value as 1 over 800 and you're done. But if you notice in part B, it's going to tell you to give your answer correct to 2 significant figures and 3 decimal places, which tells me that I actually do want to be able to put this as a decimal. So I'm going to go to math. I'm going to go down to the second option, decimal, and press enter. And now it has changed my answer into decimal form. So the answer here is 0.00125. Make sure that you write down every single decimal value because they're asking you for the exact answer. Now it says to give your answer correct to 2 significant figures. If you remember, these zeros in front are called leading zeros, and leading zeros are never significant. So in reality, what we're looking at is the 1 and the 2. It's either going to stay 0.0012 or it's going to become 0.0013. And what determines that is the number that comes after the 2, which is 5. Because it is 5 or more, the correct answer is 0.0013. Make sure on the exam not to give 2 answers. IB's policy on 2 answers is that it's going to accept your first answer as your final answer. So do not put 2 answers down. Then for part B, part 2, it says to give your answer to 3 decimal places. So I go back to my original response and now I'm going to choose 3 decimal places. So here it's either going to stay 0.001 or 0.002. And what's going to determine, remember, is the number that comes right next to the 1. Because it is not 5 or bigger, it's going to stay 0.001. Then it says Peter estimates the value of t to be 0.002. Calculate the percentage error in Peter's estimate. The percentage error formula is in the formula packet. It is under topic 1 where it says percentage error. Notice that they tell you VE is the exact value and VA is the approximate value. Make sure that you don't mess those up. Because Peter estimates the value to be 0.02, this is going to be your approximate. And then what you got at the beginning of the problem, the 0.00125, that is going to be your exact, your VE. So I'm going to substitute the absolute value of 0.002 minus 0.00125. Be careful with all of those zeros. It is the easiest way for you to make a mistake is to forget one of those zeros. Make sure when you write your work, you put it in absolute value and you're showing how you're multiplying times 100. You can drop the percent if you want, or you can keep it in the problem. Now we're going to put this into our calculator. I'm going to once again put this as a fraction so I don't make a mistake. 0.002 minus 0.00125, all divided by 0.00125, and then multiplied by 100. You can do this all at one time. You're going to get 60. So the percentage error here is 60%. If you feel like you're behind in your Math AI course and your test is coming up, I am creating a last-minute AI crash course. I am so excited for this course. It is going to help you tremendously so that you can get ready to pass this exam. Go ahead and click on the free one-page plan so that I can grab your email and let you know as soon as that course is ready for you. Hope you found this video helpful. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more help with math so that you can say, yes, I can do math with confidence. Until next time, thanks for watching.